YouTube, what if every brawler had not one, not two, but three gadgets? What? And what would that new gadget be? Yes, that's right. Today we're going over the best ideas for new gadgets. Let's do it. And yes, I know, technically, not every brawler has their second gadget yet, but they've all been decided, so that's why we're only doing third, not second. All right, so these ideas are the best ones from the community that got a lot of attention. So let's see what some of these are. First off, a second gadget, or actually a third, they said second, but third gadget for Ems, improved fan. After defeating an enemy, Ems can use this gadget to create a zombie version of them that will follow her and attack enemies that she attacks. First of all, this idea is really cool and really unique. I really love the possibility of a gadget that works only after you get a kill. Maybe you get a kill and you get some sort of boost. Like, I could see a lot of different ways you could apply that sort of concept. But then they go further and they add a little pet, a zombie. Doesn't necessarily sound strong, but it's pretty cool and definitely unique. Now here's an idea for 8-Bit. 8-Bit triggers his booster to emit a pulse that erases enemies' memory. What? They won't remember how to reload, and they lose reload speed for 1.5 seconds. All right, so ignore the first part, just read the second part. Basically, enemies can't reload for 1.5 seconds. Now, is that for everyone in the map? In general, that sounds like a pretty cool idea. I think something of like stopping reloading, or I don't know, just some sort of like anti-attacking idea is pretty unique for a lot of, like, there's a lot of shield ones, but nothing like this that stops enemies from attacking, only sort of protecting yourself. I mean, in a way, it's kind of like a mini stun, except it only affects your weapon, which is pretty cool. And here's one for Gale. Gale can freeze the water around him to provide an ability to walk on water. Now, I don't think something like this would probably be in the game, but it would be really cool to be able to, like, it's sort of like creating a bridge, right? Where you're just freezing over a small section of water and now you can walk over it, which a lot of people suggested adding bridges to Brawl Stars. This would definitely be a cool ability, and it would, of course, allow a lot more possibilities depending on the map, right? Of course. Here's Jackie, an idea for Jackie. Jackie will hit the wall with her jackhammer, and this shockwave will pass through the wall and all connected walls, and each wall will instantly do 500 damage out. So in other words, if she hits a wall, she does 500 damage to every part around that wall. That's a pretty crazy idea. It's kind of like an earthquake, but only selectively around near those walls, which, I mean, would definitely be really unique. It might be confusing to watch this sort of thing happen, but I like the idea. All right, now here's a couple ideas by Minimat here. Starting off with Shelly Chicken Companion. Shelly summons 2,400 health chicken, and the chicken can hop over walls and peck at enemies, dealing 800 damage per second. Now, this was actually supposed to be Shelly's first, either second star power or like first gadget. I think first gadget. She's supposed to have a pet chicken, but they never finished it, so she never got it. So I think that's where this is inspired. Obviously, it would be cool to have. Hey, who doesn't want a chicken in game? Come on. All right, Nita. Nita gains a 50% damage boost for her next 3 attacks. That's really cool. That would actually be pretty strong, I think. For 3 attacks, 50% damage boost, that's a lot of extra damage. But of course, if you think about it, or maybe it should just be she gains a 50% damage boost over like the next 3 seconds or something, because you wouldn't want it to be like 2 attacks and then 10 seconds later you still have the 3rd attack, you know, still waiting to use it. That might be awkward. Colt, Bounty Hunter. Colt heals 500 health for each bullet that hits an enemy from his next attack. Now, first of all, the idea is really cool. 500 health per bullet is way too much. But if you had just had something like he heals for 50% of the damage he deals, or something like that, add vampirism in game. A lot of people suggested vamp abilities. That would be a really sweet ability, and it would actually make a lot of sense for Colt. He can be an aggressive brawler, but he is also pretty low health, so, you know, give it to him. Jesse, electronic detonation. Jesse detonates a projectile that's currently in air, creating a huge explosion in dealing 1500 damage to all enemies inside it. Wow, that would be really interesting. The awkward part, well, no, I was just gonna say, like, if you explode it too soon, you miss the ability of a bounce shot. I mean, it depends on how big the explosion radius is for how worth it is, because obviously it's more damage than one normal shot. The idea is really cool. I love the idea of being able to detonate a shot midair. That sounds awesome. Please allow that. Maybe just make it a big explosion radius, and maybe the damage is fine. Rocket Ride. Brock rides his next main attack to wherever the rocket goes. Yes, please. How does he get on the rocket after firing it? Brawl Stars logic. That'd be really cool. That'd be awesome. I would love an ability like that. You fire a rocket and you go to where it goes. There could be so much skill associated with that, and it's not like you couldn't counter it either, because you would see where it's going, you know, and you would know maybe there's a special effect that makes it kind of obvious that he's riding the rocket, so to speak. I think you have to, right? That would be sweet. Dynamite Canary Vision. Dynamite's canary flies around him for 5 seconds, increasing his attack range by 25% and his bush seeing abilities by 2 tiles. First off, I think that's a great type of idea, sort of an ability boost, but it doesn't give him any damage boost or anything like that, so technically his damage is the same, although admittedly a range boost is almost always really strong. 25% would be a crazy big buff. Or maybe not 5 seconds, you know, give it like 3 seconds. Sounds good. Bow Arrow Rain. Bow fires 5 arrows into the air that will target the closest enemy, like a penny mortar attack. The 5 arrows are spread out and deal 600 damage. That sounds really cool. I mean, Bow is sort of like the camper, sort of sniper, sort of like, not sniper, but like hunter type trapper sort of thing. So him firing out a collection of arrows at once would be pretty cool. Just sort of trap his enemies from going anywhere. 8-bit Rage inducing. All allies within 8-bit's turret range will have their reload speeds halved for 4 seconds. Wow. Well, I've always wanted the idea of like a turret that boosts reload speed. So I guess this is another way to do that. 4 seconds, if you have boosted booster on 8-bit, would end up being insane, right? Because you could do such a wide area, and that would be a lot of damage. But, cool. Ems, selfie time. Ems takes 2 seconds to post on her social media, which allows her to regain half of her charisma, aka her super. Okay, I like this. Sort of like how Sandy has the gadget that heals him to full health over a period of time. Another gadget where, sort of like Sandy's, you become vulnerable for 2 seconds, but for M's case, it just charges up her super. That's actually a pretty good idea. I like this. Here's a Carl one, Bedrock Knock. Carl rudely throws a rock at the closest enemy. Not nicely, rudely, okay? Don't nicely throw that rock, all right? The rock hits for 1000 damage and stuns the enemy for half a second. Okay, so just like an extra attack with a small stun. I mean, that's so much better than his current gadget, so sure, why not, right? Here's 3 ideas. We got Brock, Rocket Barrage. Brock shoots all 4 of his rockets from his launcher where he's aiming. What? It takes up all his ammo, right, and can only be used when his ammo is full. The rockets do normal damage if you shoot all of them at someone directly. That's a dope idea. And maybe if it took like a little bit longer for him to launch as well or something, that would be really amazing. I mean, it would probably not be that great, maybe because like if you miss, good, like you are in a big trouble, but you could also just get like an instant kill kind of versus almost anyone. I mean, interesting. Daryl, anchors ahoy! Daryl throws out an anchor, which accidentally wraps around his leg and pulls him along too, which throws him forward with the anchor where you aim. Yes, you can go over walls, and if the anchor hits someone, it does knock them back and does 1000 damage. Huh. I don't know if it really makes sense for Daryl to have that movement type gadget when he has an auto-charging super that is basically exactly that, but sounds fun. 8-bit digital download. 8-bit cheats and hacks his code, giving himself a front-facing shield that blocks all frontal attacks coming his way. Shield lasts for 6.36. Wait, that blocks all attacks? That's insane. Can he like shoot through the shield If he can't shoot through the shield, then I would say that's kind of fair. But if he can, that's probably too long. But I do really like the idea of a shield that only faces one direction. You know, let's make shields unique in Brawl Stars, right? We have a lot of shields, but none of them are like this. So if we are adding more shields, please have it be kind of like this. Here's another M's idea, creepy flash. Ems takes a photo of her enemies with a very bright flash, blinding them, reducing their attack range by 20% for 5 seconds. Whoa, that's a really cool idea. I love an idea like that. I'm just wondering how this would work on a UI side. Like if I'm the one who got my range reduced, it better be obvious, you know, that my range is reduced, I guess. It would be kind of awkward if you didn't realize that it happened to you. But the idea itself is really cool. Maybe as long as it's like not an instant getting everyone on the map, but like just somewhere in front of her. Hey, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to check out more amazing ideas to help improve Brawl Stars right over there that I'm sure you'll also find interesting. But thank you so much for watching today's video. I do hope you enjoyed, and I'll catch you later. Peace.